You think you know someone, you think you understand them, and then they do one thing, one final thing, and just like that, they are gone forever. And the truth? Most people don't see it coming until it's too late. They don't yell, they don't slam doors, they don't even warn you. They quietly, almost clinically, cut off every connection. That one action signals the absolute end. No more chances, no more, maybe next time. Done. Now, if you've experienced this, or even suspect it's happening, pause for a second. Hit that like button if this resonates with you, because understanding this is the first step to reclaiming your life. Share this with someone who needs to see it. Awareness is power, and it's time you take yours back. When you realize the narcissist has decided they are finished with you, it's abrupt and often completely unexpected. Up until this point, you might have been invested emotionally, trying to understand their moods, their words, their subtle signals. You may have justified their behavior, convinced yourself that things would get better, or believed that their affection and attention were genuine. The cold shock breaks all of that. It's not dramatic in a way you might see in movies. It's quiet, almost clinical. They don't yell, they don't argue, they don't beg for attention. They just perform one action that communicates the end more clearly than any confrontation ever could. It could be a complete withdrawal, cutting off communication, or a subtle, permanent shift in behavior that leaves you confused at first, but eventually unmistakable. This is their final statement without words: I am done. The shock comes from how sudden it feels and how powerless it leaves you. You might replay moments in your mind, searching for signs you missed, but in reality, there are none. This moment is designed to jolt you, to confront you with the truth that the relationship, dynamic, or connection you thought was still alive is over. Recognizing this cold shock is crucial because it's the first real step in understanding their pattern. It forces you to stop denying what's happening, to acknowledge the reality, and ultimately to redirect your energy toward your own healing instead of trying to negotiate or reason with someone who has already decided to be done. Silent withdrawal is the moment when the narcissist begins to pull back emotionally, almost imperceptibly at first, but with a clear and deliberate purpose. Unlike arguments or fights, this withdrawal isn't loud or confrontational. It's quiet, subtle, and calculated. You may notice fewer messages, delayed responses, or a lack of interest in sharing time or experiences, but initially it can feel like normal fluctuations in attention. That's the insidious part. It lulls you into uncertainty. Over time, however, the pattern becomes undeniable. They are no longer investing in your emotional world. They stop seeking your approval, stop offering validation, and stop engaging in meaningful conversation. Every interaction becomes shallow or transactional. This silence isn't just absence, it's a statement. It communicates detachment, disinterest, and finality without needing words. Unlike other behaviors, it doesn't invite negotiation. It closes the door gradually but decisively. You may find yourself trying harder, reaching out more, or attempting to restore the connection, but the narcissist's emotional withdrawal is a boundary they enforce with precision. It's their way of signaling that they've mentally and emotionally checked out. Understanding silent withdrawal is critical because it's a turning point in the relationship dynamic. It shows that the narcissist has stopped seeing you as a source of validation, control, or emotional supply. Recognizing it early allows you to step back, preserve your energy, and avoid being caught in the futile cycle of trying to reclaim their attention, ultimately preparing you to disengage and protect your own emotional well-being. Devaluation peak is the stage where the narcissist has fully shifted from engagement to detachment, and their behavior toward you becomes unmistakably cold and critical. Up to this point, there may have been moments of charm, affection, or attention that kept you invested, but at the peak of devaluation, all of that disappears. They no longer see you as someone worthy of respect, admiration, or emotional investment. Instead, you may notice subtle digs, passive-aggressive remarks, or an overall sense of disregard. It's not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it manifests as dismissiveness, ignoring your needs, or treating your presence as an inconvenience. This behavior is their way of signaling that the relationship or connection no longer serves their purpose. The peak of devaluation is particularly painful because it often follows a period of closeness or idealization, making the shift feel like a betrayal. You might question yourself, wondering what went wrong, or replay interactions, searching for mistakes. But the truth is that the change reflects the narcissist's internal priorities, not your value. At this stage, they are emotionally withdrawing entirely, and any attempt to restore closeness is likely to be ignored or rebuffed. Recognizing devaluation peak is crucial because it serves as a clear warning that the narcissist is moving toward the final stage of discard. By understanding this behavior, you can begin to detach emotionally, protect yourself from manipulation, and start redirecting your energy toward your own healing instead of trying to regain approval or affection from someone who has already decided to devalue you completely. No contact declaration is the moment when the narcissist makes their decision absolutely clear. They are done, and they are cutting you out entirely. Unlike silent withdrawal or subtle devaluation, this is a conscious, deliberate choice to eliminate any ongoing connection. They stop responding to messages, avoid calls, and remove themselves from your life in ways that make it nearly impossible to reach them. This isn't temporary, it's a firm boundary they have set for themselves. It's their way of saying, without words, that the relationship or interaction is over and will not be revisited. For the person on the receiving end, it can feel shocking and confusing because it leaves no room for negotiation or reconciliation. You might search for reasons, replay past interactions, or wonder if there's a way to bring them back. But this declaration is final in their mind. It's not about punishing you or seeking revenge. It's about their own need to disengage completely from anything that no longer feeds their sense of control or validation. Understanding the no contact declaration is critical because it represents the point of no return. Once this boundary is enforced, the narcissist has emotionally erased you from their life, and any attempts to re-engage are likely to be met with detachment or disinterest. Recognizing this allows you to stop chasing, preserve your emotional energy, and redirect your focus toward your own healing and growth instead of waiting for someone who has already decided to be done. This is the clearest sign that the relationship dynamic has permanently shifted. Replacement behavior is one of the most revealing signs that a narcissist has moved on completely. After they've withdrawn and declared no contact, they often redirect their energy and attention elsewhere, almost immediately. This isn't necessarily dramatic. It can be subtle, like investing in new relationships, hobbies, or even just preoccupying themselves with their own desires. The key is that they fill the space you once occupied without hesitation, signaling that you were never indispensable. Your role was functional, temporary, and replaceable. This behavior can be extremely disorienting because it highlights how easily they can shift focus, often leaving you questioning your worth and replaying past interactions, searching for mistakes. For the narcissist, it's rarely personal in the traditional sense. It's about their need for admiration, attention, and validation, which they now obtain from a new source. Witnessing replacement behavior can feel like a final blow, especially if you were emotionally invested, because it underscores the irreversibility of their decision. Understanding this pattern is critical for reclaiming your own power. Realizing that they have already moved on allows you to stop trying to regain influence over someone who is inherently incapable of reciprocating genuine care. Instead of dwelling on their replacement choices, you can redirect your focus to your own growth, emotional stability, and relationships that value you authentically. Recognizing replacement behavior is not about resentment, it's about clarity. It confirms that the narcissist's disengagement is complete, and it gives you the insight you need to detach and prioritize your own well-being over someone who has chosen to erase you from their life. Mirror reflection is about understanding that the narcissist's behavior is not truly about you. It's a reflection of their own inner limitations and emotional incapacity. When they pull away, devalue, or replace you, it can feel deeply personal, as if something is wrong with you, but in reality, it's about their inability to maintain healthy attachment or empathy. Their actions reflect their patterns, insecurities, and need for control more than any shortcomings on your part. This is crucial to recognize because it changes how you interpret their behavior. Instead of blaming yourself, replaying past interactions, or trying to fix the relationship, you can see their choices as a window into their psychological makeup. The narcissist's withdrawal, devaluation, and replacement are all mirrors showing their limitations. They cannot sustain genuine intimacy. They prioritize their own emotional needs above others, and they respond to relationships in ways that protect themselves rather than nurture connection. Understanding this mirror reflection allows you to detach emotionally without resentment or confusion. It helps you see that the pain and shock you feel are natural reactions to being erased from someone's life, but they do not define your worth or value. By recognizing that their actions are a reflection of them, not of you, you gain perspective. You can stop internalizing their behavior and instead focus on your own healing and growth. This insight is empowering because it shifts the narrative. Their disengagement is about their limits, and your response can be about reclaiming your freedom and emotional independence, rather than trying to repair something that was never truly balanced to begin with. Irreversibility is the stage where the narcissist's decision to end the connection becomes permanent and non-negotiable. Unlike earlier behaviors such as silent withdrawal or devaluation, which might leave room for ambiguity or temporary reconciliation, this step signals that the dynamic is over for good. Once they have fully disengaged, cut off communication, and redirected their energy elsewhere, attempting to re-enter their world is almost always futile. Any effort to reach out or repair the relationship is met with cold detachment, indifference, or complete silence. This irreversibility is rooted in their psychological patterns. Narcissists prioritize their own emotional protection and self-interest, and once they have determined that a connection no longer serves them, they enforce that boundary strictly. For the person on the receiving end, it can feel devastating, as the finality is absolute and undeniable. Recognizing this stage is critical because it prevents further emotional investment in a situation that cannot be restored. Understanding that the decision is irreversible allows you to shift focus from trying to change the narcissist or regain their attention to prioritizing your own healing and well-being. This realization is not about resentment, it's about clarity. Accepting irreversibility empowers you to stop chasing someone who has already made a definitive choice and to reclaim control over your own life. By acknowledging that the narcissist will not return to a previous dynamic, you can set boundaries, protect your emotional energy, and focus on relationships and environments that are reciprocal and supportive rather than investing in someone who has permanently disengaged. Your empowerment is about reclaiming control over your own life and emotions once the narcissist has taken their final action. When a narcissist withdraws completely, cuts off contact, and redirects their energy elsewhere, it can feel like a personal loss, leaving you shocked, hurt, or confused. But this is also the moment where you have the greatest opportunity to take back your power. Recognizing that their behavior is a reflection of their limitations, not your worth, allows you to stop trying to negotiate, explain, or win back their attention. Your empowerment comes from understanding that you do not need their validation or presence to define your value. Instead of focusing on what you have lost, you can redirect your energy towards self-care, personal growth, and relationships that are healthy and reciprocal. This stage is about setting boundaries, reclaiming emotional space, and making choices that honor your own needs and well-being. It's also a time to reflect on the lessons learned from the experience, to understand your own patterns, and to reinforce the kind of life and connections you truly deserve. By embracing your empowerment, you shift from being reactive to proactive, from feeling victimized to being intentional about your future. In essence, the narcissist's final act of disengagement becomes a catalyst for your growth, clarity, and independence. What they discard is not your identity or worth. It is an opportunity to strengthen your resilience, reclaim your life, and focus on what truly nurtures and supports you, leaving behind the cycle of manipulation and emotional drain. When a narcissist takes that one final action, complete withdrawal, devaluation, and emotional erasure, they are done, and it is permanent. Understanding this reality is crucial because it allows you to stop searching for explanations, stop replaying past interactions, and stop hoping for a reversal that will never come. Their behavior is not a reflection of your worth or value. It is a mirror of their own emotional limitations, their need for control, and their inability to sustain genuine connection. Recognizing the pattern, the cold shock, the silent withdrawal, The devaluation peak, the no contact declaration, the replacement behavior, and the irreversibility gives you clarity. It allows you to see their actions for what they are, a final, calculated decision to remove you from their life. But while their ending is complete, your story is just beginning. The power you have is in your response, to reclaim your emotional space, establish boundaries, and focus on your own growth and healing. This is the moment to stop chasing validation from someone incapable of giving it and to redirect your energy toward relationships and experiences that nurture and reciprocate care. Their departure does not diminish your strength, it reveals it. Every step they take to erase you is an opportunity for you to strengthen yourself, to reclaim control over your own life, and to embrace independence. Understanding their patterns frees you from manipulation and empowers you to step fully into your own life, leaving behind the cycle of emotional drain and moving toward clarity, resilience, and self-worth.